Hello, and thank you for watching this edition of Speedy PD. Today's topic is going to be the Chrome browser. Many times when you open your Chrome browser, it may look just like this. And while coming to the Wayne Township website is a great place to come as a starting off point, many times it's something that you really don't do anything with. So it might be a little more convenient if that page that first opens is different than the Wayne Township web page. For instance, it could be webmail for Lotus Notes. So let me show you how you make a change to your settings so that when you open up the Chrome browser, it opens to the page where you want it to go. First thing you're going to do is go to the page where you want it to go. So I'm going to browse out to Staff Webmail, and mine is this one. This is the page that I typically come to. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click up here, right click and then copy, or I can use Control V on my keyboard, copy this URL. Then I'm going to come over here to what's called the 3 hot dogs by Google. It's the 3 bars at the top right that takes you to the settings area of Google Chrome. And I'll click there and go down to the settings tool. Once I get here in settings, you will notice that on the on startup area, it says open a specific page or set of pages. If I click Set Pages, I'm going to then be able to say which pages open up when I open Google Chrome for the first time, each time that I open them. So I really don't want the Wayne Township website to open each time, so I'll close this one out and I'll enter the URL or the web address for the email login screen. So I'll right click and paste that here and click OK. So now that's listed as my first page. Well, also what could happen is I may want Google Drive to open also. So what I can do is browse out also to Google Drive, and once I'm in my Google Drive, I can click and copy the URL for Google Drive, go back to my settings area and go to my Set Pages link, click right here, right click and paste, click OK, and now Google Drive will come up as well. So here's what happens now. If I click OK, I'm done. I close out of my Chrome browser. When I open my Chrome browser now, the first thing that's going to come up is the email login, and you'll notice also at the top, the second tab is Google Drive. Now I've got these 2 pages that come up. If there are more that you would like to come up here on a regular basis, you are welcome to go ahead and add more by going to the 3 hot dogs, go to Settings, and click on Set Pages right here under On Startup, and you can add as many as you want to. Another thing that happens here is regarding the tabs at the top. If I want to move these tabs around, let's say that I don't want the email to be the first one up here, I can click and drag this and move this over here. If I've got a bunch of tabs open here, and maybe I'm over here working on a Google document and I'm doing a little research on Edutopia, and I'm pulling some information from Edutopia into my Google document, but the problem is I have to keep clicking back and forth on these, and let's say the Edutopia page is way over here and my Google document's way over here, but I want them together. Like you have just seen, I can click that tab and move that tab over here right next to my Google document. So then all I have to do is click back and forth on those 2 tabs and they will open up back and forth. Another thing that can save you a little bit of space, maybe you have a whole lot of tabs open here at the top, maybe at the end of your day you've got a lot of tabs up here. You can save some space by doing what's called pinning a tab. The My Drive tab is up here, takes me to Google Drive. What happens is if I right click on this tab, I can click the Pin tab, and what happens is the tab gets very small and only shows the little icon at the top. What also happens is that tab actually will stay there, so the next time that I open up my Google Chrome browser, this tab will be here as well. Let's say that Google Drive and my email are 2 of them that I want to keep here all the time. I'll right click on this one and pin that tab there. Those 2 now are pinned to my tab list, and so what happens here is I can't move these out of the way. They will always be over here, but they take up less space. So I've got more space for the other tabs that may have the titles of those web pages that I'm using. That's a way to kind of organize those tabs that you have at the top of your page. So what happens at this point, if I close my browser, and I come back into my browser, you'll notice that the two tabs that I have that I want to open regularly, they're pinned at the top. But let's say I have this Edutopia page open again, and I want this Edutopia page to be pinned here at the top, and I want it to open all the time. If I right click on it and pin that tab for the Edutopia page, if I close my browser out and then go back into my Chrome browser once again, you'll notice that that's another way to keep that tab up here and have it opening each time. What I can do, I showed you that you can't take this tab and move it among the other tabs, but you can, among the pinned tabs, you can change the layout or the organization of those tabs up here at the top among the pinned tabs. What you might have just noticed here also is that, let's say I want two of my windows side by side. Maybe I'm doing some research. Let's go to a new Google document. I have a new Google document right here, and I'm doing some research on Edutopia, and I don't necessarily want to keep clicking back and forth between these two items. I can take my my Google Doc and pull it out of the line of tabs, and when I do, it creates a brand new window and opens it just like this. Then I can use my minimize down button or restore down button up here at the top right of my screen. When I do, I've got now this window here that I can put here side by side, and I can restore down my Edutopia window like this, and now I can put them side by side just like this. And if there's information from my Edutopia screen that I want to take, I can go into an article, and once that text comes up, I can take some of this text and I can click and drag over top of this text, copy it, move over here into my Google document, and paste it over here. So now I've got those two windows side by side. If I want this tab to be back into my my prior window, I can just click and drag it and pull it back up here into my my prior window tab bar. When I let go, it stays up here, and then I can maximize this window, and now my tabs are all back to where they were. The next and final thing I'm going to show you is bookmarks. There may be some bookmarks that you want to have added, that you want to have access to on a regular basis, but you don't want them buried, somewhere in a folder somewhere or something like that. There is actually something within Google Chrome browser that's called the Bookmarks bar. And if you go to the three hot dogs at the top of your window and click there and go down to Bookmarks and then click Show Bookmarks bar, what should show up is your bookmarks bar that shows up here at the top. There's an apps item that's right here, but if you want items to show up here in the bookmarks bar, let's say this Edutopia page, you like this article and you want to save it, you can go up here and click on the star in the URL address bar, the window. If you click on this, it pulls up the bookmark tool, and the folder that's listed is bookmarks bar or other bookmarks. The one that comes up by default is bookmarks bar. You'll notice over here on the left hand side, edu sometimes misbehavior, that title has already shown up here. I can click done, and now this item will show here on whatever page I'm on. So if I open up a new tab and I go to maybe CNN for kids, CNN student news, notice that Edutopia article is still up here. I can click on it and it will take me directly to that Edutopia article. That bookmark stays there. Now let's say that there is something like a folder within Google Drive that you want to have a shortcut to, so that you don't have to keep going here and then look at your Google Drive, go into a specific location. Let's say that this test folder here is one that you want to go ahead and create a shortcut to, so that you can get there pretty quickly. So if you open that folder, now up here in the top in the address bar, that's the URL for that folder. If I come over here to the right hand side and click the star, it will automatically put a shortcut to that folder right up here in my bookmarks bar. I'll click done, close out of my Google Chrome browser, and when I open my Google Chrome browser, you'll notice that test bookmark is there. When I click on it, it takes me directly into that test folder. So I don't have to look around for what it is. It's just a folder that I use on a regular basis. I can put it up here. Another thing that I can do is, as I start to add these bookmarks here, this line is going to get very long, and eventually it's going to come over here to the end, and I'm going to run out of space. What it will do is it'll put a little double arrow over here on the right hand side, and you can click that double arrow and then a drop down menu will show up and all of them will show up here. But what you can do to maximize that space, if let's say that this is, maybe you want to go to that CNN Student News. So if I go to CNN Student News and I want to bookmark this one and keep it here, well, if I don't want to have that say CNN Student News, I just know that that icon right there takes me to that page. I can right click on it and go to Edit, and it pulls up this right here, and I can totally delete the name of this bookmark. When I do, I click Save, and notice now just the little tiny icon is there, maximizing my space up here in my bookmarks bar. Even for like this EDU one, I could right click on it, go to Edit, get rid of this, or I could even say Misbehave, and I know that that's the Edutopia article about misbehavior, and now it's a lot smaller than what it was because I've changed the title of it. And again, I can always go up here, get rid of the name completely, click Save, and now notice my bookmarks bar is getting smaller. So I could just have a couple of little buttons up here that will take me to those places that I want to go to on a regular basis. That's really quick in a nutshell, some tips for how to use the Google Chrome browser. Hope you enjoyed this edition of Speedy PD. Hope to see you next time.